Welcome everybody, this is Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. And today is December the 16th, 2011. And if you just found my YouTube channel, I'd like to invite you to go to my website, which is BibleProphecyMan.com. And when you're there, two things. Number one, you'll be able to scroll down and click this link right here that will give you access to my book immediately, and it will be for free. And then as you see here on the right hand side is a subscribe button. If you hit that button right there after you put your email in here, my updates will automatically be sent to you every time that I post. Now I wanted to scroll down here to show you that this morning I already made a YouTube video that is already placed at my site and has to do with the EU and how the crisis is going to bring out, at least help bring out the Antichrist. Now I'm going to go into another prophecy. It's actually two different warnings from Jesus. The first one I want to show you comes from Revelation chapter 7, verse 16. Now in here, Jesus told us to look for signs in the sun, and we are seeing these signs right now. Now keep in mind what Jesus showed us about the people who come out of the tribulation. Jesus said, they shall hunger no more. All right? So we know that the people who are left behind after the rapture of the church, they're going to have to go through some horrific times. And part of these horrific times are they're going to starve. They're going to be hungry. And then we also are told by the Lord Jesus, neither thirst anymore. So we know that the water supplies are going to dry up. We know by other prophecies that there's going to be extreme heat from the sun, and this is going to affect the water supply, and this is one of the reasons why the Lord said they will thirst no more. So when you're in heaven, you're not going to thirst anymore. And then it goes, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. So we know that there's going to be different signs affecting the people, and you will not want to be involved in this in the tribulation. If you think what's going on in Texas is bad, like I'm going to show you in a second, it's nothing compared to what's going to happen during the tribulation. Now we know that when crops are destroyed, we know when water evaporates, and we know by strange weather that the water supply is short, that crops diminish. And when that happens, the prices of food go up. Now in Revelation chapter 6, you'll see here it's King James Version. The Lord warned us about this, and he said, and I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So essentially what the Lord is telling us here, that people who are living during the tribulation will be working all day long for one meal just for themselves. Or 3 measures of barley will actually be telling us, when you do a study, that you'd be able to fill a belly up, maybe yourself and 2 other people, with some barley, but you'll be working all day long for it, and it will be just 1 meal, not 3 meals. So the conditions are going to be very, very bad during that time. Now, let me bring together for you, if I may, some of the information about the drought that's going on in Texas, and now we have indications that that drought will be moving up. So before I do that, let me go to this article first, because it says extreme drought in Texas moving north, and as you can see, this is December the 16th. It says state and government officials got together today to talk drought. A bad word in this part of the country. Nevertheless, its migration is essential to our way of life. Today, climatologists warn our way of life could be under threat sooner than most think. Now, we know that the Lord told us in Mark 13:8 that these last days events would happen as a woman with birth pains. So, essentially, what these scientists are warning, it runs parallel to what Jesus showed us in Matthew chapter 24. Things will continue to get worse. It says, while forecast models paint a not-so-bad picture for the next spring's AG producers, or agriculture producers, scientists are keeping a close eye on Texas. And so far, the state's worst drought in history. And the Lord told us they were coming, and we are seeing that. So, the worst drought in history has caused over $5 billion in damage to Texas agriculture industry and has dried up, get this, 40% of the reservoirs. And just the existence of such a large drought could cause it to spread here. We will definitely need to be aware, as the source region for the precipitation is to the south. So, if the air is going over the dried out environment, it means less precipitation for us, said Brian Foose with the National Drought Migration Center. And if the drought does begin to migrate, it may not just stop in southern Dakota. Climatologists think that the extreme drought in Texas and now Oklahoma, it's already spreading, does begin to migrate north. It could spread all the way to the Dakotas. Now, I would have to say this. If the Lord told us it was going to be as a woman with birth pangs, then I do believe what are the odds about it getting worse and spreading? I think that they're very, very good. Now let me go to another story here, another article, and I'll blow this up so you can really see it. This article will show you the Revelation 6:6 and how this comes into play. It says Texas drought takes cow numbers down to 600K. And again, the worst drought in Texas history has led to the largest ever one-year decline in leading cattle states' cow herd, raising the likelihood of what? Increased beef prices as the number of animals decline and demand remains strong. So as I said before, as the drought comes and the conditions spread, and the cows can't eat because the intense heat has just dwindled all the crops, then you see not only effects on our meat supply, but it's going to have an effect in our pocketbook, because all it's going to do is drive up the prices of food like we have been seeing. So this is one area. Texas is one area. But there are many areas around the world that are going through the same thing, and the prices of food are being risen, or they're starting to rise because of it. Now, in this article, it says, since January 1st, the number of cows in Texas has dropped about 600,000, a 12% decline from roughly 5 million cows the state had at the beginning of the year, said David Anderson, who monitors beef markets for the Texas Ag Life Extension Service. That's likely the largest drop in the number of cows any state has ever seen. Another indication of these birth pangs that Christ was talking about. Though Texas had a larger percentage decline in 1934 to 35, when ranchers were reeling from the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, Anderson said. Anderson said many cows were moved somewhere where there's grass, but lots of others were slaughtered. He said in the Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana, and Arkansas, about 200,000 more cattle were slaughtered this year, a 20% increase over last year. And you'll see here it says that extra supply could meet increased demand from China and other countries, but the loss of cows will likely mean fewer cattle in future years. So if there's future cattle and the consumers go up, well, that just tells you that the prices of the food are going to be going up. So there you go. We have many, many signs. Unless you know what the signs are, you're not going to be able to connect the dots. And that's why I believe that the Lord put me in this ministry, so that I can help you connect the dots, so that you'll be prepared and willing to receive Jesus Christ before he comes back. And we are running out of time. All of the signs that the Lord told us to look for are upon us. There's only few prophecies really that haven't been fulfilled, and we see the slate, if you will, or being laid down to fulfill those prophecies. So please take advantage of my free book today, and then also go to the right, put your email in here, subscribe, and learn what the Lord has for us in these last days, and join with us as we prepare to meet Jesus, our blessed hope, and that blessed return for his people.